everybody. It's bright out there today. So our nutrition tips for the week is all about spices. All about spices. So we've asked you a question, what kind of spices do you use? Just out of curiosity, what types of spices you use, okay? Neither good nor bad. Spices and herbs have so much power, it's amazing, okay? So just wanted to let you know before I kind of continue, I'm going to talk about 3 different spices. But Friday, 5:30 p.m., I'm going to do a live and we're going to make a spice mix together. And the spice mix is going to be perfect spice mix for this dry winter, okay? Now, first let's talk a little bit about the winter. The stage that we're in right now is coming into the transition stage. So we will be coming into more of the kapha time of year, the wet time of year, the earth time of year. But we're still sort of in the vata time of year, meaning drying, okay? So when things are dry, we need the opposite. We need more oilation. We need more lubrication, right? Okay? Also, it's cool, it's cold, right? So we need more heating, more warming so that we can lubricate our digestive system, so that we can warm our digestive system so that we can break up the mucus that we've been building up over the winter months. Because the winter months, what's better foods, right? Heavier foods, more root vegetables. Maybe you're consuming a little bit more milk products, things like that, things with higher fat content, but good fat content. The thing about that is that it creates mucus. So it creates a buildup of mucus, okay? So these spices are great to break up all of that mucus, and that's what we need in winter, but it's also what we need in spring, okay? So what I'm gonna talk to you about first is 3 different spices. So these spices are like my go-to spices. I love them. One little tip about spices. If you buy this type of thing, the Clubhouse, I usually just get this so that I have a container to put it in, but most of the time I put it in a mason jar. If you get these at the grocery store in this type of thing, you're gonna pay a lot. You're gonna pay a lot more. Suggestion, go to Bulk Barn. An even better suggestion, go to a health food store that is locally owned. Oh, so much better, okay? So the first one we're gonna talk about is cumin. Cumin. So has anybody ever tried cumin before, okay? Cumin is heating. Most spices and herbs are heating, or meaning that they're activating. So they get things going. They get things moving the way it needs to move, okay? Cumin, I'm going to do a live next week about different tastes. So I'm just going to touch a little bit on the tastes of each spice as well. But cumin it's bitter. It's pungent, meaning it's going to give you that pow, that spice, okay? And it's also astringent. So what can be astringent? Astringent would be like a green banana, okay? That's one example. It helps to promote digestion. The really cool thing about it is that it increases the bile of your liver, okay? Which helps to digest fats. So remember I talked about we eat an accumulation of fats over the winter, or maybe we do all year round. Don't know, right? What this also aids in is breaking up that excess fat and liquefying it so that it can move, so that it doesn't get stuck and stored in your body, okay? If you don't consume a whole lot of iron, cumin is really, really rich in iron. So, good thing to know, right? Now, the taste, I said it was pungent, it's bitter, it's astringent, but I honestly find a little bit of sweetness in there. So it could certainly be foods that I'm adding it to, because majority of foods, like earth foods, they have a sweet taste, or they even have a sweet post-digestive effect, so they're sweet. So I find it a little bit sweet as well, but I mean, that's just kind of a side note, okay? So cumin is going to be the one spice that we're going to add into our spice mix on Friday. Next one, turmeric. So I've talked about turmeric a little bit. Turmeric is a highlighter. Turmeric is in mustard. And so you know how mustard, you get it stained on something and then you're left with this like highlighter color? You use turmeric in your diet and your plate will have like this highlighter yellow kind of look to it. But turmeric is it's a powerful spice herb, okay? Turmeric is, I'm going to flip over to my turmeric thing. So it's heating, like they're all heating. It's bitter, pungent, and astringent, so it's have all those 3 different tastes. And did you know that those 3 different tastes are the ones that we generally don't get as much of? We generally get more sweet, salty, maybe a bit more sour. Okay, so tastes. Check that one out later. All right, so turmeric it's heating, like I said, so it's activating. It's said that when you use turmeric that you should use black pepper with it as well, because the composition of the black pepper helps to activate the curcumin in turmeric, which is also another powerful active ingredient in turmeric. Okay, just a little side note. Turmeric it's great for everything, but you can use it as like a tincture. You know, a tincture when you have a cut or a sore on you. It's actually effective in helping with bruises. It is good for treating wounds. It's good for, this one is really cool that I find interesting. It's a super duper powerful anti-inflammatory. So if you have any inflammatory diseases, autoimmune diseases, rosacea, I lost that word, eczema, any type of like rash type thing, it can be because it's inflammation. It's something in our body that's trying to come out and comes out through the skin. So it is excellent to help decrease that inflammation. Pretty cool, right? Which in turn also helps. We talked about the lymphatic flush, remember? A couple of videos ago, if you're checking things out. That is an accumulation of waste, of stuff. So it can be accumulation of fat, accumulation of waste, accumulation of inflammation. So maybe even like liquid, extra liquid in the joints and stuff. This stuff helps to break it all up, and it helps to kind of flush the system, which is super duper cool, right? There's also another neat one with this, is that this is a zit zapper. What? Really? I have not tried this yet. But it's interesting. So the next time I have a zit, I'm going to try it. But it's said that if you use a little bit of coconut oil and you put coconut oil on your zit, and then you take a little tiny bit of turmeric powder, put it on top, go to sleep overnight. Hopefully you don't get any on your pillow. But it's supposed to be like an overnight zit zapper. How cool would that be, right? Anyways, that was like a little bit of a side note, okay? So turmeric, excellent spice that we're going to use when we create our pack of spice, okay? Now this next one, there was also a question in there in one of the groups, was cardamom. What's cardamom? Cardamom, okay? So I buy it in here. Again, if you get it in this type of container, you're gonna spend a lot more. Totally up to you, okay? Cardamom is very pungent. I find it to be really, really pungent. That's one of its most predominant tastes. It's sweet as well, but it really depends on, I find it more pungent. You might find it a little more sweet. That's okay. It's all good. So cardamom. Cardamom is another powerful spice that breaks up the mucus. Great for spring, great for winter if you've had an accumulation of mucus over the summer as well. If you know that you have an accumulation of mucus, maybe your ears get clogged, your nose gets clogged, you feel like congesty in the lungs, right? Excellent spice to use to break up that congestion, that excess mucus in the lungs especially. So try it out, okay? This one is also, it has a really neat effect where it can reduce the toxicity of the caffeine from your coffee. So you can actually use a little bit of cardamom in your coffee. Now I do this, but sometimes I put too much. So honestly, what I'm saying is, for if you decide to put it in your coffee to help to reduce the toxicity in your coffee, you don't need much at all. Like maybe, let's say for a coffee, this like, spilling everything here, like a medium-sized coffee or something, you might want to put a teaspoon as an example, just a little bit. You don't need much at all, okay? So, it also, one thing I almost forgot, I made a bunch of notes because all of these spices are just amazing. There's so much more than what I've even put in here, and I love learning all of this herbology. It's so much fun through Ayurveda. Anyways, side note, okay. So it can actually help to promote restful sleep, be calming. Why would it be calming? Pungent is activating, it's movement, it's getting things broken up and flowing. So how is that calming? Because it's also sweet. Sweet is very calming. That might be why when we're having stressful days, it can be an indication, a factor. When we're having super stressful days, we go to something sweet because it calms us. It grounds us. It creates more weight within us, but in a good way, right? So maybe that's why we go there. So sweet, neat, right? That is all for today. Have fun talking to you guys about spices. And if you have any questions, feel free, write in the comments. You're going to have some more videos over the next few days on the other spices that is going to go into our spice mix. And on Friday night, whatever you have for supper, you can add the spice mix into your supper. Have a good day, guys. See you later.